Broker owners and large team leaders, do you want to grow your business in a substantial fashion? Do you want to have chunky growth? Do you want to leapfrog your company to new levels? Then you need to learn the art of acquisitions. Acquisitions are the fastest way to grow. You can take your agent count up dramatically, your sales count up dramatically, and that's how you can have results like we have here at Lamacchia Realty this year, where our sales volume and revenue and transactions each and every month is up anywhere between 35 and about 60% compared to the same month in prior year. And we're going to land somewhere around being up about 40% this year in 2025 over 2024. How did we do that? Well, obviously we do a lot of organic recruiting. No denying that, and 2024 was a good year for organic recruiting. However, acquisitions is by far and away the fastest way that we are growing right now, and I see an opportunity for the next 2 years for this to continue at a high level, and then it's something that can be done forever, hence why I have invested so much money, time, and effort into it, and have really worked to master the art of doing acquisitions. Last year, we acquired 7 companies. This year, 1 so far, but we have a couple more on deck, and we even are lining them up for the first of the year in spring. All in all, in the last 26 months, we have acquired 11 companies. We have taken our company, when we went into this real estate slowdown, our entire industry in 2022, from a company doing about $1.7 billion in sales volume to this year, we are going to close about $3.4 billion worth of sales volume in 2025. And much of that is thanks to all of the scale we have added. When you add acquisitions, when you add agents, you add scale. And this is something that has worked out extremely well for us. So, I have made the decision that we are going to put on an event. It is going to be our Growth Through Acquisitions event. And this will be held on Thursday, November 19th, Friday, November 20th, up here in Boston, actually down the street in Cambridge. And we will likely either have the event there or have some portion of it here at our headquarters. Okay, I'm going to walk you through each and every step of the Lamacchia Acquisition Playbook, and we will be providing you with a Crush It in Real Estate / Lamacchia Realty Acquisition Playbook, and it will include all of the steps involved in acquiring companies. Number 1, developing relationships, getting to know your competitors, getting to know who's who in your existing markets so you can do acquisitions and roll them into existing offices, or maybe keep the 2 offices in the market for a while, get rid of one and roll them in. But it all starts with relationships. It starts with getting to know people. It starts with picking up the phone, dialing, and what do you say when you call? I don't want you to spend years being too forward like I was. There's a certain way to go about it, a certain way to ask, and certain steps to follow. And we go through that in the relationships portion. Once they say, yeah, maybe, building relationships, once they say, yeah, maybe I'm interested, then we go over the courting process that, from the point of not having the relationship to courting, that courting process might be a month, it might be 6 months. And that depends on a number of factors. How many years have they had the business? If they've had it 40 years, then it's going to take a little longer. Okay? There's a whole process with courting that you got to think about. Then there's a stage where you have to obtain some financial information. Don't ask for too much. We've made that mistake. We have a specific emails that we send out, and we request certain information, but we've learned don't ask for too much too early. Ask for certain things. Then when you get it all, you have to have a Q&A meeting, some type of meeting, right? Some type of discussion. And that's after a presentation style meeting that you would have during the courting process. I forgot to mention that. Then you make a decision right here. Okay, are we going to a letter of intent? Not a contract, just a letter of intent, non-binding. We have 3 different versions that we use. And what we will be doing is providing it to you. This is an event where we're going to talk about all these things out loud, and we're also going to provide you with everything that you need, including the letter of intent that we've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars with between our in-house general counsel and other law firms that we've worked with this on over the years. Once that's signed, then there might be more specific information you're asking for. There might be meetings with more people. And then also, you're immediately working on the asset purchase agreement. Now, are you buying the actual corporation, or are you buying the assets of the corporation? And there's certain things you better make sure of to look for when you do that. We're going to give you our draft asset purchase agreement. We're actually going to give you 2 versions. Then you got to get it closed. And in between here, I should have added something here. There's a lot of prep, a lot of preparation. Some of these involve tremendous preparation for weeks. Some of them aren't so bad. We're going to talk about which ones do, which ones don't. But the preparation matters. Then you got to close the deal. You got to make sure it hits the media. You have to make sure, including some real estate media, which, by the way, we can help with because our friends at RIS Media are going to be involved in this event. Okay, they are putting this on with me. I should have mentioned that sooner. But you need to get the media involved and make a bang. The more of a bang that you make, the more interest you're going to have, okay, in the future or in other deals. When you close it, there's a certain way to go about it. They need to tell the agents. You need to walk in and meet the agents. You got to do it in a certain time frame. There's certain steps that are very critical in that first week, 2, 3, 4, as you go into it. But the steps change depending upon were they with another franchise or are they an independent? Many different steps involved. And those are the kinds of things that we are going to break down for you step by step. And we are going to teach to you all for a day and a half in the classroom per se. And then we're going to have a nice dinner on that Thursday night, and it's going to be on us. That's included in your ticket. Then there's weeks and months of onboarding and transitional periods, you know, dealing with their staff, onboarding their staff, getting our staff and theirs to integrate, your staff and theirs, management, etc. And then, folks, when you get about 6 months out, 12 months out, you're off to the races, and you are making money, folks. And let me tell you, these are quite profitable. These are quite profitable, quite successful, and it's very interesting to see that we as a company are still in the midst of paying these companies, and we're still profitable, very, with them, and it's really helping the existing companies. So, as I said, this event is being put on by Crush It in Real Estate and RIS Media, and the ticket price is going to be $7,500. We initially talked about $10,000 because that's what I've done with prior events, but we decided that we're going to scale this event a bit bigger. We were initially thinking 15, 20 people. Now we're thinking 30, 40, around there. But this is not going to be a several hundred person event where you will feel drowned out. It won't be the case. We're talking a few dozen here, maybe 4 dozen, right around that area. There's going to be an intimate event. We're going to be able to walk, talk. You're going to be able to ask questions without walking up to microphones. And we're going to make sure that when you leave this event, you are leaving with an arsenal of the things that you need to get out there, get back to your market, and immediately begin acquiring other companies. Immediately. Now, there's a whole process in that. There's many different steps, but we're going to prepare you for it, and this will help you, and this will put you on a path to growth. We had 2 events in years past. We had a growth event, how we converted our company from a team model to a brokerage model to a large brokerage model. That was the first event we did in 2023. We did it again in 24. This year I said, I don't want to do that. I want to focus specifically on acquisitions. And this is for acquiring teams, small teams, large teams, small brokerages, big brokerages. All the same principles apply. We will have some of the owners on site. We'll do a panel with them one of the days. And we're already at about 8 or I think 10 people signed up for the event, thinking it was a $10,000 event. They're going to be pleasantly surprised to hear it's $7,500. But some of those people that have already signed up went to my events in years past, hence why they already signed up. And they will be able to tell you about the tremendous results they had in growing their companies since attending our events. So, that's all, folks. We're excited to have you. Again, the event is November 19th and 20th. You have to put down a $2,500 deposit, and then you'll have to pay $5,000 about 20 days before the event in order to attend and receive the Lamakia acquisition playbook. That's all. Look forward to having you. Go ahead, fill out the form, put in the deposit. We'll be in touch. You'll also get added to a Facebook group where we will be putting in updates leading up to the event to warm you guys up. And then let me tell you, after the event, we continue to do things in that Facebook group until we have our next event in order to rain education on you. So that's all, folks. Super excited. Thank you.